It takes the average American worker more than 17 months, over a year and a half of grinding 40 hours a week, just to earn their first $100,000 before spending a dime. But keeping that money? That is where the system is architected to fail you. Meet Mike. Two versions of the same man, both 31, both working warehouse logistics, both earning exactly $5,600 a month. To the IRS, they are identical, but there is a lethal discrepancy in their financial DNA. Mike A is trapped in what I call the economic gravity well, a mathematical prison designed to keep his net worth flat despite his hard work. Mike B has escaped. While Mike A will work for 2 decades to hit 6 figures, Mike B hits it in 7 years. I am going to expose the exact algorithm the financial industry uses to keep you trapped in the gravity well, show you the verified data they hide, and hand you the 3-step escape plan to finally make your money work harder than you do. Here is what the banks do not want you to calculate. They profit when you believe wealth is built linearly, one paycheck at a time. But the math of this system is rigged to crush linear growth. The first $100,000 is not just a number. It is a fortress, protected by the highest walls of inflation and cost of living. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics December 2025 data proves this brutal reality. The average full-time salary is $5,923 a month. Do the math. That means every single American is trading nearly a year and a half of their life just to generate $100,000 in gross value. The system demands 17 months of your life force just to print that number on a pay stub. And that is before the system takes its cut in taxes, rent, and survival. This is where the trap snaps shut. The financial cartel knows that if they can keep your savings rate low, you will never accumulate enough mass to break free of their gravity. They engineer a world where spending is frictionless, but saving feels like a penalty. And it is working. The Federal Reserve's 2024 data confirms the personal savings rate has plummeted to just 4.3%. That is not an accident. That is extraction. When you are saving less than 5% of your income, you aren't building wealth. You are simply servicing the debts of your future self. You are running on a treadmill that the banks control, and they are cranking up the speed every year. The psychological warfare here is intense. The system relies on you quitting before you see the curve. They know the first few years of investing feel like throwing money into a black hole. You sacrifice, you save, and the balance barely moves. That is the design. They want you to believe the game is unwinnable, so you retreat back to consumption, buying things on credit, which generates profit for them. They are betting on your fatigue. They are betting you will look at the mountain of 17 months of salary and decide it's too high to climb. Let us look at the human cost of this rigging. Let us go back to Mike. Mike the consumer plays by the system's default rules. He earns that $5,600 monthly salary. He saves 5%, about $280 a month, and he parks it in a standard cash savings account because he's been told cash is safe. But safety is a lie in an inflationary environment. With inflation eroding his purchasing power, Mike is running in place. At this rate, doing everything right by societal standards, it will take him over 20 years to hit $100,000 in real value. He will be in his 50s, still grinding, still trapped in the gravity well, wondering why the math did not work. Now look at Mike the owner. Same $5,600 salary, but he rejects the default settings. He cuts the variable expenses the system uses to drain him, the subscriptions, the convenience fees, and pushes his savings rate to 10%, or $560 a month. And crucially, he bypasses the bank's extraction mechanism. He funnels that capital directly into the S&P 500. The result is not a small improvement. It is a life-altering acceleration. Mike, the owner, shatters the $100,000 barrier in roughly 7.5 years. He did not work 3 times harder. He did not get a promotion. He simply stopped playing the game rigged against him and started playing the game the wealthy play. He broke the gravity well. Once you escape that initial gravity, the physics of your money change. The banks hide this acceleration phase because if you knew how fast wealth compounds after the first $100,000, you would never buy their low-yield products again. The second $100,000 takes half the time of the first. The third takes even less. This is not magic. It is velocity. And the banks are terrified you will find the throttle. Vanguard's own data from 2015 to 2025 proves the scale of this opportunity. The S&P 500 delivered a 10-year average return of 14.8%. That is the velocity of ownership. Compare that to the scraps they feed you. Even the best high-yield savings accounts at banks like Ally are offering around 3.3% APY as of February 2026. Do not let the term high yield fool you. That is marketing speak for below inflation. When you park your capital in a savings account, you are lending your money to the bank so they can invest it in the market, earn that 14.8%, pay you 3.3%, and pocket the difference. That 11.5% spread, that is wealth transfer. That is your money extracted from your pocket to pad their balance sheet. The math of this betrayal is stark. Let us visualize the acceleration you are missing. Imagine you have that first, hard-fought $100,000. If you leave it in the bank's hands at 3.3%, it will take nearly 22 years to double to $200,000. You are waiting decades. But if that same $100,000 is deployed into the market earning that 14.8% average, it doubles in less than 5 years. 5 years versus 22. That is 17 years of your life bought back. The system wants you to wait. The algorithm wants you to trade your time for safety. But in this economy, safety is the most dangerous asset you can hold. Let us look at Rachel to see the price tag of fear. Rachel is 27, a teacher making $4,500 a month. She is smart, responsible, and terrified of the stock market. She saw the headlines in 2022 and decided to keep her money safe in a savings account. She thinks she is avoiding risk, but she is walking into a trap. By delaying her entry into the market by just 5 years, keeping her cash on the sidelines while she waits for the perfect time, the math is merciless. That 5-year delay does not just cost her 5 years of growth. Because she missed the acceleration phase on her early dollars, that decision will cost her over $200,000 in lost compounding by the time she retires. That is the price of playing it safe. The bank loves Rachel. She is the perfect customer. She takes all the inflation risk, and they take all the market upside. Comment below right now. Are you currently in the grind phase, fighting for that first $100,000? Or have you hit acceleration? I want to see where this community stands in the fight. Now, let us talk about how we rig the game back in our favor. We know the system relies on our inertia. They count on us being too busy, too tired, or too confused to move our money. So, the only way to win is to remove your human willpower from the equation entirely. You have to automate your own rescue. We need to build a machine that extracts wealth from your paycheck before you can spend it, and before the system can tempt you. The first step is aggressively exploiting the tax code loopholes they left open. The average person ignores these, but the wealthy use them as shields. I am talking about the 401k and the Roth IRA. Data from Carry.com reveals a staggering failure of strategy. Only 14% of participants max out their 401k. That means 86% of people are leaving tax-free growth on the table. The system loves it when you pay taxes on money you could have kept. If your employer offers a match and you are not taking it, you are literally working for free for part of the day. You are donating your labor to a corporation that would replace you in a week. But here is the specific account hack to accelerate the timeline. Do not just dump everything into one bucket. You need a pincer maneuver. Use the 401k to lower your taxable income today, starving the government of immediate taxes. And use the Roth IRA to ensure your future growth is tax-free. You are attacking the tax burden from both sides. The Investment Company Institute reports the average 401k balance is around $148,153. That sounds like a lot, but for a lifetime of work, it is a pittance. That is average behavior producing average results. We are not here for average. We are here for freedom. So here is the raw calculation, the rule of thumb to break the chains. You do not need a PhD in economics. You need a calculator and a spine. If you can save just 20% of the median household income and invest it at market average returns, you will hit your first $100,000 in roughly 6 years. If you can push that savings rate to 25%, you are there in under 5. The math does not care about your feelings. It cares about your inputs. Every dollar you liberate from the spending trap and deploy into the ownership machine is a soldier fighting for your freedom. The timeline is flexible. You can bend IT, but only if you stop treating your money like a consumer and start treating it like a capital allocator. Let us recap what we have exposed today. First, we identified the economic gravity well, the brutal reality that the first $100,000 takes 17 months of pure salary to earn, making it the hardest milestone you will ever face. Second, we proved that the banks are hiding the acceleration phase, where market returns at 14.8% crush the pathetic 3.3% savings rates they offer you. And third, we laid out the escape plan, rejecting the default 4.3% savings rate and automating your way into tax-advantaged ownership. Here is your resistance plan. Tonight, log into your payroll provider. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Systems are permanent. Set up an automatic transfer for your next paycheck, even if it is just 1% more than you think you can afford. Make it hurt. That pain is weakness leaving your financial life. Within 30 days, I want you to audit every subscription and convenience cost draining your velocity. Cancel them. Redirect that cash flow into your Roth IRA. Make the system pay you for your discipline. If you are done being a battery for the banking cartel, subscribe. Next week, we are decoding the housing market trap. Join the resistance against algorithmic extraction. Let us make them lose their bet on our silence. This video is for educational purposes only, not personal financial advice. All data is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Vanguard, Fred, and the Investment Company Institute as of early 2026. Products mentioned are examples, not recommendations. Consult a licensed financial advisor for your specific situation.